Ty Simpson is climbing up the quarterback rankings. Michael Trigg is the best receiving tight end in the NFL draft, and Caleb Douglas is the sleeper receiver that you need to know. Let's watch the tape.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst with Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. It's Watch the Tape Wednesday. If you're new here, it's simple. I picked 3 players from the previous weekend of college football for the 2026 NFL Draft. I watched the tape and I bring to you my notes, my takes, my beliefs of what I saw on the All-22. Ty Simpson, Michael Trigg, and Caleb Douglas go underneath the eye in the sky in the spotlight. But before we get to that, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets to use freely across the app. Ty Simpson, the quarterback, the new star quarterback from Alabama in Caleb DeBoer's system. And we talked about him on yesterday's pod. Keith had him as his quarterback of the week when we do our weekly Tuesday quarterback show. And of course, for good reason. Against Vanderbilt, Ty Simpson outdueled Diego Pavia. 74% completion percentage, 340 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns in this game. And just off the top, let me tell you something. The big thing for me with Ty Simpson that stood out to me, that he is a triple peer. All right, he's a triple peer. And I'm going to tell you what that means. He is polished, he is professional, he is productive. That's what Ty Simpson is. And I love watching the film and watching him orchestrate this Caleb DeBoer offense. He is poised. That's another P. Could be a quadruple peer. He is poised in the pocket. Shout out to my guy, Jordan Reed, who he tweeted out, poise in the noise. In the pocket, you see a calm, cool, and collected quarterback when you're watching Ty Simpson. Not only that, and some of this stuff might sound boring to you when you think about it, right? I'm not getting into he's got all these crazy physical traits. I'll get to his physical traits in a minute, but let's talk about just the nuanced part of playing quarterback, the things that you should pay attention to. To me, it's the cadence, the tempo, the rhythm, and the intent of his drop back. When I was watching them drop back, I always pay attention to how guys back foot hits and then how they set themselves up in the pocket. Does the back foot hit and then you're heel clicky? Are you toesy? Are you bouncy? Are you springy in the pocket? And then you have to come flat footed and get prepared to throw? Or are you a Ty Simpson where I'm watching your drop backs and I'm like, this is so in rhythm, so much tempo and cadence to it, to where when that back foot hits, he springs forward and hitches forward. He's actually ready to throw. He can load up to throw at any moment. I love his mechanics from his lower body. Everything is in sync when you watch him. Everything is in sync. Sometimes you see guys where their toes are pointing in one direction, but they're aiming in a different direction. Everything's aligned. Everything's in sync and synchronized. I love that about Ty Simpson. So when I'm watching him, those are things that stood out to me. He's ready to throw. He's ready to load up and throw at any moment's notice. Now, he's an accurate passer at all 3 levels. He throws a very catchable ball. He knows when to put velocity, and he knows when to put air, touch, and to layer the ball over defenders. He does that at a high level, and he does that very consistently. Vanderbilt, Georgia, the Wisconsin game, you talk about a quarterback that was dealing. Yes, he was the guy. He's the guy in Vegas, right, at the blackjack table that you're going to keep losing to. He's the dealer, baby. He's the dealer. And Ty Simpson is but again, the mechanics, the cadence and the drop back, the accuracy. He's a polished quarterback with a professional skill set. I love that when I watch him. But let's get into some more things. Trust him with full field reads. He goes from 1 to 2 to 3. And if you protect him long enough, he'll go from 3 back to 2. I'm telling you that right now. He does those things very, very well. But also, you look at the eye manipulation, right? I'm looking at my notes here. The eye manipulation, being able to hold those defenders who want to get greedy, right? The best defenders in the secondary, especially in the deep part of the field, the safeties, right? How when you're playing robber technique, how are you robbing a quarterback? You read his eyes, you follow his eyes, you follow him to the football, right? Well, the best quarterbacks know how to make you follow him to a place he's not going to throw. I love that about Ty Simpson. There was a play, I believe it was against Vanderbilt, might have been early in that game, the Vanderbilt or Georgia, one of the two. And so to his right, to his backside, he has a in-breaker to Jeremy Bernard and everything. But the moment he gets the ball in shotgun, he looks immediately to his left. So he looks left, pulls that safety, pulls those two backers, pulls the other safety. He's looking to the left side of the field. Then he works back, gets his shoulders lined, and then drills a pass to Jeremy Bernard. Shout out to the corner, who still was in the vicinity enough to make a play on the ball. And it was ruled incomplete overall. But nonetheless, the process for me, here's the thing. When scouting guys, learn how to, just some of the things that I do. Pay attention to not just the result of a play, but the process. Now, the result was an incompletion, but the process was an NFL level process. I love it, right? Yeah, you want the receiver to catch the ball. You don't want the DB to break it up, but okay, the DBs get paid too. They have a job to do too. But the point is, does the process lead to, does that process, does it lead to good results? Yes. Bad processes will have good results, but those results don't translate to the NFL, right? So just, giving you some gems here. Now let's continue to go. Cover 2, honey hole shots. You hear that term a lot, right? He has the arm talent and he has the accuracy and ball placement to fit the ball into that honey hole, into that hole shot versus cover 2 shells. So he can attack cover 2. He can attack different coverages, cover 4, cover 3, cover 2 man. He's not afraid to throw against man coverage. He's not afraid to throw against zone. This is a young man that you don't want him to get into rhythm. You want him, first of all, you don't want him to sit in the pocket and just drop back and survey and slice and dice you, right? Because if he gets into that rhythm, it's a wrap for you. You don't want that when it comes on to Ty Simpson. You want to move him off his spot as much as possible. You want to make him uncomfortable. Now, here's the drawback to that. He's an athlete. He's a good athlete too. I think it's his first touchdown against Vanderbilt to Ryan Williams. There was a play where he's flushed out of the pocket, so he rolls to his right. There's a defensive end or edge rusher trailing him. He puts on the brakes like Reggie Bush back, the USC Reggie Bush, that that highlight, the on the sideline pops up on his toes like Michael Jackson with the step back juke. Now Ty Simpson didn't do all of that, but you get the picture. He pumped the brakes, then was able to work back around that edge defender, move up a little bit, and then set his feet and throw. He had another one rolling to his left, same thing. And listen, guys, he is a natural thrower of the football, a good thrower of the football. You see him rolling to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback, but you see him shoulders get square, and he's able to power that ball. And then he has the ability with the placement to stop the receiver stop his momentum. The receiver's kind of back shoulder going across the, on the hash. Boom, right there, right where it needed to be. Kept him from kind of carrying him into the defenders. A lot of quarterbacks don't do that enough. Stop the receiver, protect the receiver with the ball. Ty Simpson's draft stock will continue to rise. He'll be 23 years old. Per what's out there, he'll be 23 years old in December. He's a first-year starter, only 5 starts. He's got to get better a little bit with anticipation. I want to see him handle pressure better. He beats the blitz. He's a blitz beater, but I want to see him handle the pressure of a 4-man rush a little better. But that's what happens when you get more time on task. We'll see what happens at the end of the season, after the CFP, after the national championship game. But if Ty Simpson keeps this up, he will be a first-round graded quarterback for your boy DP Dame right here on the Locked On NFL Draft. But coming up next, Michael Trigg, the tight end with the best skill set, the best receiving skill set in the draft. Let's talk about him coming up next. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. The NFL season is here and in full swing, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss, because right now new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right, you heard me correct. Pick a bet and put down $5, only $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 back in bonus bets to use freely across the app. I mean, you can use it on things like, player props, right? The right player props can get you paid. You can use it on same game parlays, and you can jump into the live action as it unfolds. So why would you want to miss out on such an amazing deal like this? My question is, what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com right now to download the FanDuel app today and get started. The tight end with the best receiving skill set in the 2026 NFL Draft is none other than Baylor's Michael Trigg. Now, this is a young man that has been well journeyed. Started his career, his college career, 2021 at USC. And in 2022, he transferred for 2 seasons to Ole Miss, 2022, 2023. The last 2 years, from 2024 to this year, he's been a part of the Baylor offense, and he's having the best year of his career. He might get close to that. If they keep feeding him targets, he may get close to 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns this year. This is a young man who is playing good football, coming off of, and we talked about it on Monday's show, coming off a monster game. 13 targets, 8 receptions, 155 yards receiving, 19.4 yards per catch against Kansas State. This is a true receiving tight end. Okay. For example, 69% of Michael Trigg snaps have come from the slot. Only 29.8. So basically 30% of his snaps have come in line. He's never went past 13 snaps a game in a game this year, lined up as an inline tight end. He thrives in the slot. He's a big, athletic, easy mover, fluid mover at the tight end position. And when you look at, again, what he is 6'4", listed at 6'4", 240 pounds. Michael Trigg has the best skill set from a receiving standpoint. We love Kenyon Sadiq. He's a great receiver. He's got a receiving upside, freakish athleticism, and then he's an outstanding blocker. Max Clare, really good athlete as well. Straight line, pass catching ability, doesn't get the ball in Ohio State. Hate to see it. Oscar Delp has it all to me. Speed, route running. He can continue to improve as a blocker, but he's got a grown man body. He has all these things, and yet Georgia does not throw him the football. Go figure. Nonetheless, guys, you look at Michael Trigg, he has that skill set that we're looking for in the tight end. Will he be more of a move tight end, a flex tight end? He's going to play that F tight end role. He's not going to be the traditional Y. He's not going to be the traditional tight end at all, because he's not a good blocker. He doesn't block with any enthusiasm, any urgency, or any skill as a blocker. Like he just doesn't have it, right? But as a route runner, short area quickness is there. Footwork is there. The ability to decelerate and accelerate, right? Reaccelerate quickly, can do that. He has a basketball background. What I really, really, really love about him is the ball skills, the body control, the hand-eye coordination when he's attacking. Against Kansas State, he has a throw, I believe it was up the seam, where I think he split 2 defenders, caught the ball, split 2 defenders. Now it's a real reckless having the ball out there like a loaf of bread. You got that's the old school coaching phrase. Tuck the football. Don't hold it like a loaf of bread, right? He kind of lifts it up over his head like he's doing an and one crossover. And I was just like, you got to hold on to that, big fella. But nonetheless, and then there's the one down the left sideline. And guys, this catch was phenomenal, sensational. Just quarterback trust him. Sawyer Robertson trust him. Targeted his big guy, his big tight end. He goes up with one hand on the sideline, snags it, inbounds. I'm like, oof, that's filthy. That's nasty. I love it. Okay. When you see a guy like Michael Trigg, it reminds me. He reminds me a little bit of just some names to think about, right? The Eric Ebrons, the Kyle Pittses of the world, like those guys, like that you can just line up anywhere. And he's got he's going to be a fluid mover. He's going to have the athleticism to stretch the field vertically up the seam, or if he's flexed out wide. And I think for him with Michael Trigg, one thing that I really appreciate is that the fact that like this is a guy who's to me still untapped. I think yes, Josh Cameron is their star wide receiver. I'm sorry, the best wide receiver on that team for Baylor. You got to give him the football, right? 5 to 8 targets, like I would say 5 to 8 targets minimum a game. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, Michael Trigg should be that second option, and sometimes he might be the first. Because if you're playing a team that has great corners, but their safeties don't cover well, their linebackers don't cover well, it's going to be a day for Michael Trigg to go off and go nuts. And I think with him also, with him playing in the slot a lot, right, and he projecting him to the NFL, you're going to get he's a guy that creates matchups. He's a matchup creator, and he's going to be able to create and curate those matchups for you. And you think about those safety nickel hybrids, that is the new prototype now and a new archetype for the safety position. It's guys who could play free safety, strong safety, and play the nickel and play man-to-man coverage. You get one of these 5'8" to 5'10" nickels on him. That's a nickel safety hybrid or whatever the case may be. It's going to be the equivalent of playing, you run the pick and roll in basketball, and they switch to pick and roll. Now you got a mouse in the house. You got a 6'2" guard on a 6'10" power forward. Yeah, I'm backing out and I'm throwing the ball into the paint. Big fella, go eat. It's the same thing. He can use his frame to box those guys out on in breakers, like crossers, over routes, in cuts, like dig routes, and on those slants, right? But also with his ball skills, his leaping ability, his hand strength and hand-eye coordination in those moments, you can then flex him. You can come out in 12 personnel in the NFL under center. See what the defense comes out in heavy and big personnel, defensive big personnel, because they think they had to deal with the run game, and you go empty. And now you got him flexed out into the slot. You're in shotgun, snap the ball. You can run a slot fade with the slant combination, throw the slot fade to Michael Trigg and feel good about that. So at the end of the day, for me, guys, Michael Trigg has the best receiving skill set, from route running and separation creation to then ball skills to body control to athleticism. It's all there. You want to throw that lob, he's going to go get it, right? He's going to get the lob. He's going to get the rebound. He has that type of ability as an aerial wide receiver, or aerial tight end. And I wouldn't be shocked if some teams try to. Here's the key. The thing to as I get ready to close this discussion on Michael Trigg. The thing to watch out for with Michael Trigg, and I'm excited to see what he runs. If Michael Trigg runs anywhere in 4.4 range, right, with a 1.51 10-yard split, somebody is going to say you're a wide receiver, right? And like I think from a comp standpoint, you could look at the Darren Wallers of the world. Maybe I would say a guy, the body type wise, that he reminds me of is Devin Funchess, who was with the, I think it was at Michigan. He was a tight end. And he converted to wide receiver, and then he was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. Devin Funchess showed some promise, but just wasn't athletic enough to play wide receiver. He was just a contested catch, big body guy, can stuff like that. Michael Trigg has much more athleticism to me, better short area quickness, better route runner, and separator. Yeah, that could end up working, especially if he's a legit 6'4", 240, and if he runs 4.49, 4.48. I'm just saying, guys, like you're gonna have yourself a weapon that your offensive coordinator, if they fumble it, it's them that fumbles it, guys. But coming up next, you want to talk about 6'4" playmakers. Texas Tech wide receiver Caleb Douglas come off a big game last week against who did they play? I forgot. But he had a big game. He had Houston. They played Houston. So yes, Caleb Douglas, the 6'4", 205-pound wide receiver out of Texas Tech, had a big day versus Houston. We're going to talk about what I saw on film for him coming up next.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Caleb Douglas, 6'4", 205-pound wide receiver out of Texas Tech. Started his career at Florida 2022 and 2023, and then transferred going into last season to Texas Tech. And this young man makes big plays down the field. Again, 6'4", 205, coming off a big game against Houston. 11 targets, 7 receptions, 114 yards with 16 yards per catch. And he is a tall, long-legged wide receiver who can drop his weight at the break point. And what I really love about his game is the vertical salesmanship, right? Make everything look like a fade until it's not, right? Being manipulative as a route runner, basically be a gaslighter, okay? Make that DB feel like he's crazy. Like, I know he looked like he was going vertical, but he ran a comeback route. He worked down the stem. Make them gaslight them into thinking they know what route is coming. So they get prepared to turn on their high horse and get ready to run. And then you snap it down, work down the stem, work back to your quarterback, or you're actually running a 15-yard dig route or a post route, and he does a good job selling the takeoff route. He knows how to attack the DB's gate, especially for guys that's in side saddle bail or off coverage, cover 3, cover 4. He can make you with his with the way he stems his routes vertically. He attacks you. You see head down, chin to chest, arms pumping, shoulders forward. And you're like, oh, yeah, he's trying to go vertical. I'm staying on top of the route. And he's like, well, stay on top because I'm working back down. I'm working back down the stem, big dog. Nice stop route. First out, right? But also it's the ball skills and body control down the sideline to where you're talking about back shoulder fades, contested catches, and then the red zone. He has a nice little foot fire at the line of scrimmage that he can move DBs and displace those guys and give him more advantageous space for the quarterback to throw. All I'm saying is that this is a sleeper wide receiver that right now on the season, through 5 games, 18 receptions on 31 targets, 340 yards receiving, only 1 receiving touchdown. He does have 5 drops this season. You want to see him, catch the ball, be more consistent doing that. Don't let the ball get into his chest. Don't let the ball hit the ground, right? You don't want to hit the ball. You don't want the ball to hit the ground. That's what you don't want. You don't want the ball to hit the ground and it fell through your hands and it's a drop, right? So for me, when I look at Caleb Douglas, I was trying to think of some comps for you guys, but it's kind of hard with those 6'4", wide receivers, man. These guys are, especially, they're tall, they're long-legged and good wingspan, and they can drop their weight, sink, and drive at the break point and things of that nature. I feel like he knows how to get to the blind spots a little bit as well against those side saddle bail technique corners and everything. He has a high motor. And the reason why a high motor for me at wide receiver means a lot, it's not just the effort plays. Like scramble drill and, things of that nature, second reaction, throwing opportunities and windows created by a mobile and athletic quarterback, right? Who's keeping his eyes down the field. No, it's not that. I would say, for me, it's more so the high effort plays is like, okay, if you're playing press coverage against me, let's say you win the initial part of the route phase. You got me at the line of scrimmage. You jam me. You knock me off my feet. You not knock me off my feet because you don't want that. You knock me off balance a little bit, threw off my timing, but I don't care. I'm a hand fight. I'm going to lean into you. I'm a chicken wing you. I'm going to fight until I can get free, and then I get free. And he does still get free pretty quickly. So I think this is a guy that you look at and you say, you know what? Like the Marvin Joneses of the world. This is kind of a little bit of a throwback name for those who remember. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but just, one of those type of guys. And I think an NFL team that needs depth. And know what another name? I just thought about it. But let me finish my thought. That needs depth, that needs those receivers that can be the 4 and 5. But if somebody goes down, you're still comfortable with them at the 3. I think Caleb Douglas has that. He has that depth piece vibe to him. I think if it's ceiling wise, you're talking about like just some kind of movement skills and taller frame, of course. I think this young man that I'm comparing him to is at 6'2". Caleb Douglas is at 6'5". Rashad Bateman was, I believe, a first-round pick. He never, because of the injuries and different things like that, slowing up his development. He never played to that draft spot, but he did get an extension with the Baltimore Ravens. But it's the movement skills. Rashad Bateman is a really good route runner. He's a loose, fluid mover, despite having, his height and everything like that. Like, yes, and I think when I look at Caleb brings a little bit of that as well. So I like what I see from him. I want to see. They have a lot of weapons at Texas Tech, so I know he's not going to get like 80% target share and anything crazy like that. But I would love to see him in a role or college offense where he was the guy. Like, how does that look week to week when you're the guy, right? I would have loved to see that, but we didn't get a chance to. But I'm telling you, he's a sleeper that you guys got to check out. Keep your eyes out on those undefeated Texas Tech Raiders, man. He's a part of that. And I think down the stretch when they have to throw the ball in those games, Baron Morton can find this young man and create some big plays, especially down the field. He gives you a little yakety yak. Don't call me back, right? He gives you a little bit of yak, a little yards after the catch. I like what I've seen on tape from Caleb Douglas. But guys, that's the show. Watch the tape Wednesday. Texas Tech wide receiver Caleb Douglas, Michael Trigg, the best receiving skill set at the tight end position of the 2026 NFL draft out of Baylor, and Ty Simpson, the climbing quarterback out of Alabama. Only 5 starts, but he looks professional and polished, guys. He has a couple P's to his name and his resume. But please go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. And come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.